Hashtag writers are sexy too. But there is an unsexy part of the book writing business. We're going to talk all about that in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live with the hardcore style.
You want to talk COVID-19? You want to talk quarantine? Well, let your girl tell you what goes with Apothic White, or I should say pairs with Apothic White. Vienna sausages and sardines. Yes, you heard it here. You can pair Vienna sausages and sardine fillets with Apothic White wine. It makes for the perfect quarantine meal. Hello, Writer Boos. I am Write with Carla. I am a ghostwriter, editor, and author coach. I am here to help you get your book from a thought in your head to a book in your hand. And today we are going to discuss the unsexy but important part of writing books. So you have this idea in your mind. Take a journey with me. Come on, take a journey. Imagine yourself as an author. Imagine yourself touching and changing the lives of your readers. Imagine yourself signing books at book signings, reading excerpts, gaining all of these followers. And that's great. But guess what? There are parts of the book writing process that don't really fit into that imaginary world that we were just in. There are a few things that I think you should know, and I'm sure you've heard these, but we're just compiling them all into one lovely video so that you can remember the unsexy but important part of writing books. 5, your think tank. Now, think tanks are crucial because, as you know, you might think writing a book about glass chandeliers is the best thing since sliced bread or Vienna sausage, but it may not be written well. Your overarching themes may not connect. Your main topics and subtopics may clash and not have anything to do with each other. The best way for you to figure out if your book is cohesive, if your characters have been written and crafted well, if the worlds that you are creating make sense, if your characters are relatable, is to have a think tank. Now, my think tank is composed, it's a small group of people. I believe I have 6 people in my think tank. They are all different. Now, most of them are about the same age, but we have similar backgrounds in that, we pretty much are the same age, grew up at the same time, but we come from different family structures. We have different family structures. Some have kids, some don't have kids. Some make 6 figures, some are barely scraping by. But when I send my book out to the think tank, I'm able to get brutally honest opinion about how the story is coming along. Some of the ideas they have, oh, Carly, you should change this. I'm like, oh gosh, that sounds stupid. I'm not going to do that. But then some of the ideas they have, I'm like, oh gosh, I didn't think of that. That's really good. Yeah, let me go ahead and add that in. So when you have a think tank, these are people you can also bounce your ideas off of, so you can start to figure out if it's going to make sense before you commit to writing it. That helps to make your writing process easier, and you're a lot more sure of your final product. 2, editing. Don't skip it. Period. Said me. Love, your editor. Don't skip the edit process. I've had clients come to me after having their friend or family edit the book, and they found like 5,000 errors in it. It was still poorly written. They didn't feel like the book was connected in any way. So the editing process is something you don't want to skip. Why? What's more distracting than finding an error on every single page? You keep stopping the writing. You stop the reading to think, oh my gosh, there's another error. And then you think, gosh, I just saw one on the page before, and the page before. Did this person have this book edited? Why did they do this book? Why do I have so many errors? This isn't their THERE. This is their THEIR. If I know that, they should know. It just stops the reader from enjoying the book and takes them down a cascade of unsatisfying questions that they have in their head, questions they'll never have the answer to, but it's all your fault because you didn't have the book edited. So do me a favor, do yourself a favor, and do your readers an even bigger favor, and make sure that you get a proper editor, someone who does this, who has a keen eye and pays attention to detail so they can dot all the I's and cross all the T's. 3, formatting. Formatting is very crucial. Actually, my mom is here during this quarantine mess, and she just said, look at this book. This book looks so boring. And I was like, well, your formatting is all in the... And she flipped through the page. I said, yeah, you're right. The book is boring. That is like gross. Somebody sent me something last night to do a table of contents in. And I was like, bruh, you have 200 pages of sameness. I can't tell where the chapters begin and where they end. I can't tell where the main points are. I can't tell what's important, where your quotes are. So I had to reformat his book for him. I add italics. I added bold lettering. I added design for his chapter headings. Formatting is very important. Your page numbers, your name across the top, the book across the top of the other page, or you could even do each chapter. If you're doing a book on how to write music, then at the top of one chapter, you'll talk about the treble clef. At the top of the next chapter, talk about the bass clef. Then you talk about a B flat scale. But whatever it is, you can make the top of each chapter heading be differently, like at the top of the page. What I did for my formatting in Mask Off was I attached a song to each chapter. So this is the beginning of a chapter. It has the chapter number on one side, but the actual chapter heading is the page with the song to kind of signify. It's almost like a foreshadow. It kind of tells you what's coming. But I wanted something different and unique and something everybody could relate to. So I have songs from Beyonce to Al Green to Trick Daddy. Hey. But don't skimp out on the formatting. It makes people feel more accomplished. More than just skipping pages and seeing the page number increase, they can see chapter 5 and it's like, wow, I'm already on chapter 5. It also helps them to set reading goals. If they say, I want to write a chapter this week or a chapter today, they can do it easily because your formatting is amazing. 4, ISBN and barcode. Now, this is something people never know about, and every time I talk to people about it, they're like, huh, what? Yeah, I know what it is, but what is it? So barcodes, everything has barcodes, right? Even this Apothic White, whoop, barcode. On books, you have an ISBN, which is kind of like the book's social security number. So it's attached to your book, and if anybody sells it, those sales can be tracked. You don't want to skimp on it. Now, KDP does this amazing thing where they give free ISBN barcodes. However, if you get one of their free ones, you can only sell your book on their platform. If you purchase your own ISBN barcode, which you can do through Bowker.com, then it will be assigned to your book, but it'll have your name as the imprint, which is the publisher of that book. But don't skimp out on that, because if you say, oh, I don't want to pay for it now, I'll pay for it later, then 3 years later, somebody wants to book your book on their bookshelves. You don't have an ISBN and barcode. They can't scan it in their system. So then you have to track down your graphic artist, see if they have the original file, pay them another fee to stop what they're doing, to put your ISBN and barcode on, and then resend the file. It's just too much work. That's if you can find the graphic artist, because a lot of them go ghost at some point. Then 5, your book cover. Book cover is very important because a book cover is actually what helps sell the book. So you want to make sure that it's crafted well. It meets all of the specifications with your book trim, your bleed, your formatting, size and spine, with a traditional height and width. These are all things that your book cover designer will know how to do, but don't skimp on that. So these are the unsexy but important parts of book writing. If you have any questions for me, you know how to reach me. In the meantime, I'm going to get going on this can of Vienna sausage, and maybe I'll roast it. I'll put them on little toothpicks and hold them over my stove, cook them, and then drink my vino. What do you think? Maybe, maybe not. Have copywriting.